Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day so far. I told you in one of my last weight loss surgery update videos that I was working on a what I eat in a day video. So this is it. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about a typical day of what I eat about 9 months post-op gastric bypass weight loss surgery. I know after I had my surgery, especially right after I had my surgery, I would search the YouTube videos. I would search YouTube videos about what people were eating 9 months out, or a year out, or down the road, because I was so curious what life was going to be like after that initial shock to your system of just having liquids and just barely being able to take a couple bites. Kind of what does life normalize to? So I don't eat the same exact thing every day, but when I'm really trying to do really good and stick to those macros that my surgeon wants me to stick to, I kind of choose similar food, and I'm fine with that. Not a lot of people could stick with the same thing every day. And like I said, I don't do it the same every single day, but I do a lot of the same things. So in this video, I'm kind of showing you some pretty typical things that I eat. And really, breakfast and lunch are the things that I have almost identical things every day, unless we go out or unless I just spice it up a little bit. But I pretty much stick to very similar things, and those are the things that you're going to see in this video. Now, dinner is really just different each day. We go out a lot. We try to cook it, or we try to eat in a lot, but we just get busy, or we just want to go out shopping or something, so we grab something out. So the picture that I'll show you in this video is something that I ate out at a restaurant that day. So I'll give you some ideas later as I start talking about dinner, about some of the things that I eat for dinner too. So first, let me tell you really quickly, my surgeon wants me to get at least 60 grams of protein. I don't remember the exact calories, but it's like, let's just say between 750 and 950 of calories. It's somewhere around there. They're like exact amounts, and now I can't remember exactly, but that's what I shoot for, between 750 and 950. And I try to stay, on a bad day, I get around 900. So I try to stay between 700 and 800 calories. And then the fat grams, 30 or less, and carbs, 60 or less. And the carbs is where I have the biggest problem, because I was kind of getting carried away with myself, and if I got busy at work or something, I would just go out and grab a handful of pretzels and just be snacking on them, or some Cheez-Its, or just bad things that I shouldn't be eating, and the carbs rack up quickly. Either that was my problem, or at night I would start to get snacky, just like I did before surgery. Things don't really change a whole lot after surgery, your mindset and your habits, so you have to change them. But I'll get snacky at night, so I'll go grab again some some Cheez-Its or pretzels or something snacky, something like that. And those carbs add up so fast. So like one serving of pretzels is, I think, 25 carbs, and it's not that many pretzels, so it adds up quickly. So that's what I'm watching big time right now, and I'm doing really well. And so let's just jump right in and see what I typically eat. So I start out every morning with a protein shake. Some days that will just be my breakfast. It depends on how my work day is going. That'll just be breakfast. Some days I'll have an actual breakfast about an hour or two after that, and in between lunch. My surgeon really wants us to get 3 meals a day, and then protein shakes in between instead of snacking, and to try to build up that protein if we need to. But a lot of times lately I have been just doing a protein shake for breakfast. Now, my favorite, I have 2 favorites. They're both Premier Protein, but one flavor is chocolate. That's what I'll show in the pictures. And then the other flavor that I've only had 1 case of, because I could only find it once, is the cookies and cream. And guys, if you can find that cookies and cream flavor, I get mine at Sam's Club. They're sold out of it a lot, but it is just like, in my opinion, just like drinking a cookies and cream milkshake in the protein shake, formula. It's so good. In fact, the first one I drank, I was like, I think that's a little too sweet for me. I mean, it is good. In fact, we have an ice cream maker, and I thought about making some cookies and cream ice cream just with that protein shake. So just be eating the protein shake, with in the ice cream form. So I may do that. I think that sounds really good, actually. So I always have that protein shake, and then I always pour, I just eyeball it. I don't know how much, probably about 4 ounces of the Starbucks cold brew, the unsweetened, just the black coffee. So that's what I'm showing in the picture now. So I pour that protein shake into a Starbucks tumbler with about 4 ounces of that coffee. So as I'm showing these pictures, I'll show you the macros in each meal that I show. If I would like to, I will go and have, one of my favorite things lately is this Greek yogurt that I'm showing on screen, which I think it's the Light and Fit kind. Now I can't remember, but it's up there on the picture, and it's the strawberry cheesecake kind, and it is the one with the toppings in it, so it definitely has more carbs because it's got little graham cracker pieces, the little cheesecake bites in it. It's still not bad though on carbs and calories and everything, and it's so good, so I love that. So I'll have that sometimes for my actual breakfast. And then for lunch, I buy the boar's head lunch meat, and like at the deli at the grocery store, they'll cut it for me, and I usually get about a pound a week every time I grocery shop. And I will measure that out. As you can see there on my scale, I measure 2 ounces of lunch meat, and then I will have a Sargento pepper jack cheese stick. That is my favorite. I buy them in bulk because I can only find them at one of our grocery stores around here. So every time we go to that one grocery store, I'll buy a bunch of them and keep them. So I'll have a cheese stick and lunch meat for lunch. That is super low calorie, super filling, super delicious. I love that lunch. And in fact, if we ever go out for lunch because we're out shopping or something, I'm always so sad because I'll do things like, especially if we get fast food, and I even try to get healthier options at fast food, which aren't even that good, and I'm always like, man, I wish I could be home and eating my boring lunch. I mean, look at that. It's lunch meat and a cheese stick. It sounds so boring, but it's so good. I love it. So that's my lunch usually. If I want a snack, if I feel snacky, instead of going to grab that handful of pretzels lately, or crackers, things like that have packed so many carbs, I have started getting carrot sticks, and I'll pour about half a teaspoon or half a tablespoon of this balsamic vinaigrette dressing, and I'll dip the carrots in it, so I get that satisfying crunch. It really fills me up too. So that I've been loving for a snack. Or I will have cherry tomatoes, and I'll cut them in half, and I'll have only just about 6, but when you cut them in half it seems bigger, and I'll put them in a bowl and pour just a tiny bit of balsamic vinegar in it and just eat that, which is really good. So those are 2 of my favorite healthy snacks. And then at dinner time, really what I'm going to show up here, we went to a local steakhouse in our area, the Chop House. Anyway, so grilled salmon with broccoli and rice. Now, I barely ate any of the rice. I did have a couple bites of it, but I really try to avoid that, of course. But I did have a couple bites. And then I ate about half the salmon and about one big piece of broccoli. So that's about how much I ate. I didn't think to take a before picture of the meal, so I'm sorry. The picture that you see is after I was finished eating. So that's what I ate. And I did eat a Caesar salad also with it, but I ate maybe a third of the salad. So I ate a pretty big dinner that night. So that was delicious. So that was a dinner when I go out. That's a typical dinner that I try to get fish, things like that. But at home, I do not like to cook. I could do it, but I just don't like to do it. When we're at home, my husband usually does the cooking. But if he's at work, or if I'm the one that has to cook for our girls, I used to do things like frozen meals, or just macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets. And so we're trying to do healthier options now, of course. And so we got a sous vide. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. I'll try to link to one below, to the one that we have below in my description box. You fill a pot of water up, you put the sous vide onto the pot, turn it to the temperature that you want. It warms up the water to the temperature that needs to cook your meat. You put your meat into some form of a bag. What we'll do is buy a bunch of like chicken thighs or chicken breasts or things like that, or whatever meat we get. We'll get it in bulk, and we'll cut it up, and we'll prepare it, season it, and put it in those freezer bags, the sealed bags. Can't think of the word, but we've got one of those sealer fresh machines, whatever they're called. We'll seal the bag, pop it in the freezer, right on there what kind of seasoning it is, and then I can just throw it in the water, and it will not overcook the meat. So it keeps it, let's say the temperature needs to be at 165. It will get it up to 165, and you usually have to, there's an app that goes along with it, and it will tell you if it's chicken thighs, it needs to be at 165 for an hour and a half or whatever. And if it's frozen, you just add 30 extra minutes to whatever time it says. So you pop it in there, it cooks the meat, and that's it. I mean, I just have to throw it in there, and I will take it out of the bag. You don't have to do this, and I'll just kind of sear it a little bit in a pan. But that allows me to easily cook healthier meats for us, so I have no excuse now. So that's usually what we'll do. So I'll just portion out about 2 ounces of whatever meat we're having, and then I'll have a little bit of vegetables on the side. So another meal we love to have, because it's quick and easy and cheap and delicious, is spaghetti. But of course, I don't want to sit down and eat a bunch of noodles. So I'm technically allowed to do that. I don't know, if it were one of my guilty pleasures, I would do it more often, but I really just don't care to. So what I'll do, my husband will brown the hamburger meat and put, make the sauce, and then he'll have the noodles on the side. And before he puts all the meat and the noodles and everything together, he will dish me out just basically hamburger meat with, or the ground beef with the sauce on it. And it's delicious. So that's really all I eat when we have spaghetti. And that sounds weird, but it's really good. So that's what I'll eat. But really any kind of meats, we try to get the leaner meats, and I'll just portion it out. That's the big thing, I think, after weight loss surgery, is it's still very easy to eat too big of portions. Now, you're not going to be able to eat as much as you used to, of course, but you can still overeat and you can still stretch it all back out. So I do my best to measure it as much as I can. So that scale is my friend. I try to use that as much as I can. So those are typical things that we have for dinner. And then what I've been doing lately is pre-planning my day. We usually meal plan for the week, and most of the time stick to it unless we go out. But I'll pre-plan my day, so I'll know, how many carbs and calories and everything I'm going to have. And that way, if I have extra at the end of the night and I get snacky, I know that I can save some of it for at the end of the night. So if I get snacky and I still have some carb allowance in there, I'll go grab a handful of pretzels or one of those yogurts, even if I haven't had one of those in a day, or something like that, and I'll have a pretty good bedtime snack. So, it's just all about planning. I think that's really the biggest thing, is to plan your day out, to track it. If you don't track it, you are shocked to find out how many carbs, especially, and calories that you're getting, and you don't even realize it. You think, oh, I haven't had that much. I just had a handful of pretzels a few times, and then you're like, what? I've had 60 carbs in that little snack. So you really need to plan. That's my biggest tip. But yeah, that's just a little bit of ideas for what I eat in a day. I will say my minimum fluids for the day, which is usually water, anything caffeine free is what my surgeon says, is I get 64 ounces of water. Now, I will also show you in here, because I do have usually one warm hot coffee to go every day. And really, when I start to get snacky, if I go get a cup of coffee, that cures all of my snack cravings and everything. It's so good. And I was getting sugar-free syrup, but I switched over to just regular cream, like the French vanilla creamer that I'm putting up on the screen right now. And I'll show you how many carbs. I really just put a little splash in my coffee. I don't put much. That big bottle lasts me way longer than it is. Like, I think after you open it, it's 14 days, and it doesn't last me that long. It lasts me a lot longer than 14 days. I get 64 ounces of fluid every day, so I do make sure to do that. And I can tell if I'm really being bad over the past couple days or something, especially over the weekend. For some reason, if we're really busy and I'm just not drinking much, I can tell that I retain water, and my body's like trying to tell me, like, hey, you need more water, and we won't hold on to it so much, so that scale is going to keep going down. So definitely get your fluids in, because it makes a big difference. And watch those carbs, because they make you retain water too. So anyways, I hope that helped you guys, give you at least a little bit of some ideas of what I eat. And guys, please let me know if you have any questions down in the comments. I'm happy to answer anything. And thank you guys for always being so supportive and for watching my videos. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I'm going to do my best. I know I've said this before, but I have a goal for myself of 1 video per week. They're not all going to be weight loss surgery related. They're just going to be just a mixture of things. So I will be putting them in playlists, so you don't have to, go through, and if you don't want to watch certain videos, then you don't have to, But please definitely hold me accountable to that 1 video a week goal, because I'm working on it. So anyway, please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.